Okay guys, it is that time again, Thursday Night Live with your boy JH. How we doing, Jane? Guys, just give me a bit of love, some likes if you can see me, if you can hear me. Hit that like button, hit the share. There's a slight change of plan tonight on the live that I was going to do. It was supposed to be It's All a Scam, and we were going to talk about negativity and all that kind of stuff, but we had a bit of a mess up in terms of promoting the live, so it never actually went out at the right time. So I don't want people to basically miss out on the stuff that I'm going to talk about with dealing with negativity, because it's such a big area in terms of entrepreneurship. So I'm going to flip it and we're going to do it next week. So I apologise for that. It was my fault for cocking it up and messing things up. I've just been so busy, forgot to get that stuff out in time. But I've been busy. Here's a letter from my opticians to say that I need to go in for an eye test, and I've turned that into the notes for tonight's call. So what I'm going to be talking about is what's new with you, what is new with me, what stuff have I been up to. I mean, it's a new year, guys, and everybody at the beginning is like, you know, let's work really hard on our goals, let's get really, really clear. And, you know, how many people are still doing that stuff now? How many people do you know that joined a gym in January that aren't even going now? How many people do you know that joined your business in January that haven't even started doing what they said they were going to do? Because the world is full of people that overpromise and underdeliver, not just to other people, but to themselves. So, you know, I think if you're well on track with what you're doing, you should pat yourself on the back. If you're not, then there's no issue with that. Like, don't beat yourself up, but just reevaluate where you're coming from. And now's a perfect time to do that sort of stuff. So we're almost at the end of January, right? There's only like 4 days, 5 days left or whatever it is. I don't really know. By the way, this month seems like it's gone on for ages. Someone messaged me today and they were like, is it the 74th of January or something like that? So I thought that was pretty cool. But what you've got to think about is, what have you done so far this year? Like, where are you up to? Are you on track with what you said you were going to do? And what have you been investing in? And by investments, I don't really mean investing in companies, investing in stocks and shares and all that kind of stuff, which is cool, by the way, but that's not the purpose of tonight's live. It's more about what of the investments that you've been putting into yourself, into your energy. Have you actually been investing in your own dreams and your own goals? And investing in yourself. So I can only talk about what I've been doing. I've had a pretty strong start to 2018. You know, we're already a month in. And by the way, we're not finished with this month. You can still have an epic January, but we're getting towards the end of the month. So for me, it's the time to reevaluate and look at what I've done so far this month. What have I started? What have I invested in terms of my energy, my time, my money, and the people that I've been hanging around. So I'm going to take you through what I've been doing. Maybe you guys can reflect a little bit after this on what you've been doing. Feel free to share this with anybody that you think may get value from it. But here we go. So I started off the year with some very, very clear and concise goals of what I wanted to achieve this year. It was as simple as that. And I reflected on what I did last year, and one of the major things that I probably did wrong last year is I said yes to too many things. Now, I'm all for saying yes and diving into stuff and doing all that kind of thing, but I'm also into like making the right decision for you. Like, sometimes you've got to be good at saying, you know what, I'm just going to focus on me for a little while. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to say, these are my goals and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get them. So I'm looking at the first month of the year saying, you know what, I want to hit the ground running. And if you relate this sort of stuff to football or to sport or something like that, how you start the season usually determines how your season will go. Not every time, but it's imperative to start the season well, to start a new year well, to start fast out of the tracks is how I like to describe it, because you can build momentum on the back of that. So my clear goals were actually broken down into January, February, March, and so on and so forth. And my number one thing was to get more focused on putting my energy into the right things, the right time, the right people, and the right sort of stuff. So cutting out alcohol, I touched on that last week's call, Kill Your Kryptonite. If you've not watched it already, go back and see it. Scroll down the the live on the page, and you'll be able to rewatch it. But that was the thing that was holding me back in 2017. I almost felt like I was getting started, then I was slowing down. I was getting started, then I was slowing down. I was getting started, then I was slowing down. And that was kind of how my year went last year. It was a little bit like that. This year, I just want to keep building on top of it. So by the end of the year, I'm there, rather than pretty much a plateau in terms of fitness, health, mindset, you know, business, income, all that kind of stuff. So what have I been investing in? I'll probably break it down into 3 things for you. So the first thing is that I got really, really clear on what was holding me back, and I decided to, rather than remove that stuff, I would actually bring in other stuff that is going to crowd the bad stuff out, if you know what I mean. So I like a beer, I ain't going to deny that, but rather than say I'm going to give up beer, I said I'm going to give up alcohol, and I'm going to drink non-alcoholic beer. So what I decided to do was have a couple of non-alcoholic beers over the weekend, and you know, if I'm chilling out or whatever, I still wake up in the morning, feel totally fresh. There's like half the calories in a non-alcoholic beer than there is in a normal one, and there's obviously no alcohol, so you don't get that addiction, that rollover where, you know, you drink, rather than, like, when I drink 2 non-alcoholic beers, that's pretty much it. If I drank 2 alcoholic beers, that 2 would turn into 12 or something like that. So rather than saying I'm giving up this, I'm stopping this, I actually allowed myself to have that stuff, but the toxins and all that kind of thing aren't in it. What does that mean? It means that I'm crowding in more good stuff, and I'm basically replacing rather than removing. So replacing that behavior with a new one. So where am I putting my time? Well, this is pretty funny, to be fair. I've entered into the CrossFit Open. So I'm actually going to be doing the CrossFit Open in February. It's like 5 workouts over 5 weeks. Any of you CrossFit heroes out there will know all about it. I've been doing it on and off for the last 8 months, and yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. That sort of training really, really suits my body. It suits, well, apart from the box jumps, because I've got really short legs, they're pretty hard. I mean, you have to get a step ladder to get up on some of these boxes. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is find something that is in tune to what you love. Like, I'm not one of these guys that can go into the gym and do three rounds of 12 reps and sit there on a bench for 2 minutes waiting for my rest period. I just want to go in, blitz it, and walk out of that gym covered in sweat, like absolutely battered, and then I know that I've done what I needed to do, and that is in the bank. And if you follow my Instagram stories, that's what I try and put on there. It's every time I do a workout, it's in the bank. I'm building on top of it, like I was saying before, rather than having this inconsistency wave is what I had last year, where I trained for about 2 or 3 weeks really consistently, then I'd be on a plane flying around the world somewhere, and I'd be drinking and going off track and not sticking to the plan, and then I'd be coming back bloated, overweight, tired, sluggish, and it was almost like you know, getting rid of the damage, removing the damage every 3 or 4 weeks. That's all I was doing. Whereas this time, coming towards the end of January, I'm into like the 4 weeks of really consistent training. So that's where I'm investing my time. 3 CrossFit sessions a week, and then training on the off days myself. I'm also playing more tennis, and my plan is also to get involved in surfing and take up snowboarding as well. So rather than saying I'm giving up going out to the pub, I'm not going to go in clubs anymore, all that kind of stuff, I'm replacing rather than removing. So I'm bringing in stuff that makes me feel good, that keeps me active, because you know what it's like when you take away things, you then start to go stir crazy because you start getting bored. So why not put something in place of that's going to add value to your life and make you feel better? So that's what I'm doing with my time. That's making me feel good. I'm getting up in the morning earlier than I've ever got. It's interesting, when I drink, I always take afternoon naps. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. I always get sluggish around about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. I have had 1 afternoon nap this whole year so far, which means my productivity is going through the roof. I'm staying up later, I'm getting up earlier, I've got more energy, I'm more productive. On Monday, I did a call at 9 a.m. to our team in Australia. I did calls all day throughout the UK, and then I finished at 12:30 in the morning to our team in Florida, which is going great. So I wouldn't have been able to do that on a Monday if I hadn't been doing all this other good stuff. So all these investments that I'm putting in to my time is paying dividends within my business and how I feel. And you know what? I'm feeling great every single every single day. All right, sometimes my energy's like 101%, sometimes it's like 75, but what it isn't is 40 and 30 like it was when I was making bad decisions. So, hey, and I'm only going to be honest with you guys. I ain't here to tell you that I'm the perfect kind of superhero guy. I'm not, but I'm just trying to get better myself, and hopefully that inspires somebody watching this to try and get better yourself as well. So money, where am I putting my money? So obviously, if you're drinking and you're partying and you're going out and you're doing all that stuff, that's where you end up putting your money. So your decisions end up going into your time, and then it relays itself into the money. I ain't one of those people that goes out and gets loads of drinks bought for me and stuff like that. So, you know, when you're going out, you end up spending money on stuff that you don't really need, or stuff that isn't adding value to your life. So I'm now spending my money on coaching, I'm spending my money on books, I'm spending my money on online courses. I'm trying to learn more stuff and get better that way. So actually making better choices with my money. Let me show you these. I mean, I've been ridiculed a little bit, but these are the, look at them, they're actually glinting in the light. I mean, I'm not one of these like bling bling sort of guys. I bought these CrossFit trainers like thinking they were pretty subtle, and then I walked into the gym and my coach was like, "Oh my God, look at him, the new trainer wanker. He's got fucking metal shoes. What are you doing?" And I didn't even realize. Like, I thought they on the website they look really subtle, and now I'm walking around like Master P. So there you go. But these were an investment, like £97 or whatever they were, £99. Better to spend it on that than spend it on stuff that's taking me away from my goal. And for whatever reason, they just make me stronger. No, I'm joking, I don't know. But I feel better when I'm training, that's all I know. So, yeah, investing my money in coaching, investing my money in playing tennis, in tennis coaching, trying to get better at stuff, because we as human beings are addicted to progress. We're addicted to that thing where we improve, we get better. We're always striving for that. And especially if you're in the 5% like us guys watching this, that, you know, and that are involved in the entrepreneur world or the personal development world, we're always interested in that 5% and getting that tiny wee bit out of our performance levels to improve. So I'm always trying to improve in what I'm doing and making more of a conscious effort this year on where I invest my time and where I invest my money. Next one is energy. So, you know, there's only so much energy that you've got. What are you putting that energy into? And like I said, I'm adding in good stuff, but my energy is, going back to my first initial point, is when I've done this kind of thing before, I've been all or nothing. So I've almost been like, you know what, I'm not drinking, I'm just going to say yes to everything that involves building my business. So yeah, I'll do a call, yeah, I'll do a meeting, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, and I just kept saying yes, 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 yes. I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I get totally overwhelmed and burnt out by around about the third week of January. But that hasn't happened this year, because I've actually thought before I've said yes or no to something. I've gone away and thought about it, and then I've been really honest. No, I can't do that. No, that isn't a good use of my time at the minute. Let's reevaluate it. Let's look at it later on down the line. So this is something that you can work on, because I think a lot of the time we're pleasers. We're trying to please everybody, whether it's our family, whether it's our team, whether it's, you know, other people out there that are asking for help. Like, we're trying to please everybody, and sometimes your energy is better off being saved up so you can have a bigger impact. And that really relates to the 80-20 rule, which I'll touch on. So I guess what I want to know, guys, before I move on, is what have you won like this month or this year? How have you started the year? Like, let's not focus on the stuff that you haven't done yet. You know, if I just touch on that briefly, like, I haven't meditated as much as I wanted to this year. I probably haven't eaten as clean as I've wanted to this year, or eaten as healthy, but I would say I'm a good 90% out of 100 on track with a lot of the things that I'm doing, which is much better than I was in December, let me assure you. So just drop in some comments, let me flick it back, and let's see where you guys are. Let's see what's working for you guys right now. What are you? Nice, I love it. Lucinda, kettlebell workout, 30 minutes, 5 times a week. That's the thing with exercise. Like, you don't actually have to do hours and hours in the gym. And I know that from my PT days, like 30 minutes of training every single week. every single day. You know, just 30 minutes is enough to get the endorphin release, to get your metabolism fired up. If you're doing like high intensity stuff, it really, really does work. So what are the things that you are doing? Personal development, love that. Andrina, you know, getting up 10 past 5 every day, that's insane. Like, that is discipline. And this is the difference, guys, between the people that have an epic year and the people that just struggle and just kind of plod along. Like, if you haven't got enough, like, everybody's got 24 hours in a day. What you do with it is what counts. If you want something badly enough, you'll get up earlier and you'll listen to an audio book, you'll meditate, you know, another key thing is not putting your phone on for the first hour of the day, like just focusing on you, building yourself up, whatever it is. So, guys, it's amazing to see that you guys have started killing it this year. And yeah, big shout out to Vuk, by the way. Give him some love. He's just messaged me earlier. He's qualified for the Winter Olympic Games. I mean, look at that, right? This is he's a bobsleigh. He's like the front guy in the bobsleigh, which I think is the most important part, to be fair. I mean, I might be wrong, but he's in charge of where that thing goes. So, yeah, he's qualified for the Winter Olympics, working out 9 times a week for 4 years and getting up at 4:30 a.m. And now he's going to the Olympics. I mean, I could friggin' end this call right now and it's done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that is discipline, that is hunger, that is focus. And yeah, it's insane to see. So I'm going to get him to do a live with me at some point later this year and share his training journey and what he's been doing and all that kind of stuff. I remember a few years ago, we interviewed a Commonwealth Games wrestler as well, and it was a very similar story. What these guys, like, this is elite level sport. Like, I'm doing CrossFit, and you know what I mean. I'm can't even do a double under, and you know, I'm just doing what I can do. But these guys are elite level athletes. Doing this kind of stuff is insane. So yeah, we'll all be supporting Serbia, the Serbian bobsleigh team, at the Winter Olympics. Hey, you never know, they might even make a film about it. Cool Runnings 2, who knows. So yeah, shout out to you guys that are absolutely crushing it, you know, with the personal development, the training, and we all know that you feel better when you move. It's so, so important. So just to kind of wrap this up, because I want to jump off really, and I've got some other calls to do myself. Like I said, I'm in total relentless mode. I've got some more calls starting at 8:30, but I want you to focus on this. Sometimes you've got to take the hit in the short term to get the long-term benefit. So just like Vuk was getting up at 4:30, I guarantee there were days when he was like, I don't want to get up. Like, the alarm goes off, I just want to roll over. But he's got that vision where he's like, I'm totally focused on qualifying for the Olympics. He's thought about it every single day for the last 4 years. That's how relentless you guys have got to be with your goals. That little bit of short-term pain. I was chatting to somebody today who's building an online business, and you know, she was saying, my main business, my primary business, always ends up dragging me back off track because it's my main money income earner. And whenever I work on my other business, there's a short-term pain, and I can totally relate to that, because when I was a personal trainer and I had to do meetings and I had to do calls, I always had to sacrifice clients in the evening because I had a long-term vision. So it was like, you know what, I'm probably going to earn 100, 200 pounds less this week, but the bigger picture means that I'll be able to live the life on my terms later on down the line. So you've always got to focus on that. Like, sometimes you've got to make tough decisions, and this always comes back to time, money, and energy. That short-term pain for that long-term vision, to implement that long-term vision. So what I would say is get really good at saying yes to the right things. Don't be afraid to say no. If it doesn't take you towards your goal, then you need to reevaluate it. If it's a low value adding task, if it's something that you walk away from and you think, you know what a waste of time that was, I could have been doing this, then don't repeat it again. You know, don't repeat that mistake again. If it's you find yourself getting distracted, or you end up gossiping, that's another like massive distraction exercise that people do all the time. You start off talking about one thing, and before you know it, you've been gossiping for about half an hour about stuff. So finally, get good at the 80-20 rule. And it really is as simple as focusing on the things that will give you the biggest hit, the biggest bang for your buck. So putting your energy into the things that will give you the 80% of the results that you want. It really, really is as simple as that, guys. And eliminate the other stuff. So what I would say, guys, is moving forward, we're going to do this this live next week now on dealing with negativity, people that don't buy into what you're doing. It doesn't matter whether it's network marketing, affiliate marketing, you're creating your own online business, you've decided that you're going to give up being a lawyer and you're going to set up your own gym, and all your family and friends are saying, don't do it, are you crazy? That's the stuff that I want to talk about next week. So if you've got people in your team, in your business, or friends, or people that are entrepreneurs that just haven't decided to take that leap of faith yet, then get them on next week's live, because it's going to be really, really on point, really focused on how to overcome that and how to build that mindset muscle around just getting on with it and not looking left, not looking right, not caring who says what from that angle, not caring who says what from the other angle. So make sure you're focusing on the stuff that brings you the biggest results, guys. For the rest of this week, you can still have a phenomenal January, and let's break into February with some massive momentum. Whatever business you're in, whatever you're doing, stay cool, have an amazing week. Thanks for jumping on.